Well, hello everybody. Good afternoon. Thought I would try doing a live stream here at the end of the day. It's been pouring rain for most of the day, so wasn't able to do one earlier just because of how fiddly the touchscreen on the phone becomes if you try to do a live stream or have your phone in general. So I figured I'd do. It's cleared up enough to be able to take off rain gear on the top part. I still have my rain gear on the bottom, and grass is still pretty wet and dewy. But this is the last lawn for the day. But it finally dried out enough to be able to do a live stream while mowing. But yeah, the lawn is still pretty gross. It's been so crazy wet. Let's see if I can turn the camera around there. Yeah, so you can see it's pretty still really wet and dewy there, and pretty long. Lawns are growing like crazy, but I got this little last one here to do. So I figured I would do today's live stream, try to get it in there, even though it's not a huge lawn or anything. Just put the phone in my chest holster using the Crest stuff. Gone through a couple batteries today. One battery on the trimmer. During the last house, I had to switch to a second battery, and also the mower. I switched battery. The blower, I'm still using the first battery from this morning, but it's down to one bar left on that battery. Been running the Crest mower on the high power mode today for a lot of lawns, just because it's just been so wet and dewy, like I said. Yeah, so I'm just gonna do this one. Get some of the trimming done here. This one is just the front yard that I do. They don't have any lawn in the back. This one as well, they have a separate gardener or gardening company that does everything. All I do is mow. I do fertilizer and lime as well, and aeration and stuff. But essentially, I just take care of this lawn. That's it. For like weeds, gardening, pruning, all that. There's another company that handles all of that. Oops, looks like I kind of messed that up a little bit. It's looking. And kind of strange, somebody sitting in that car. Maybe an estimator or something. Looks like they're typing on a computer. Don't recognize the car. It's not usually here. That little, what is that? Like a Nissan Leaf or something? Yeah, Nissan Leaf. It's weird. There's a big hedge right there, and a lot of, from time to time, you'll see people kind of hang out there for the kind of privacy that hedge kind of offers. Usually, people are up to no good. Generally, I should kind of watch what I'm doing and have the camera pointed down at the work. Yeah, but it is just, I'll be very happy to be done this lawn today, just because it's the last one and I am soaking wet. I really need to get my get some new rain gear. This stuff isn't quite as waterproof as I'd like. The guy with the car moved. Doesn't want wet grass clippings all over his car, I guess. Um, yeah, so just need to get some new rain gear, especially for next year. Definitely. I noticed as well, I'm using these Cujo X4S boots that are supposed to be waterproof. They are not waterproof at all. My feet are completely soaked. But I did see, actually recently, I think it was last week, that they are clearing out these boots because they're making changes to them. So they're clearing them out for, I think they were like $90 or something like that. Getting rid of their inventory because they will have a redesigned one. Said they're listening to customer feedback and they're gonna make some changes. So there was 4 important changes or something they were making. So my guess is the waterproofing would be one of those issues because these are advertised as waterproof boots. So maybe there was an issue, or it could be just a one-off. But these ones are not waterproof, even though they say so on the side. But yeah, it's never fun, never comfortable when you have to work and be in the wet weather all day and your feet are wet. It's pretty darn miserable. See if there's any questions or comments. See, one person is watching. Thanks for joining. Oh, and why do we have power out on here now? Ooh. That was weird. Did I not seat that battery properly? It's kind of weird. I was trimming there and I stopped to go to another section and then the power wouldn't come back on. Now this Crest stuff, I forgot the actual what rating number it is, what IPX rating this stuff is. It's like IPX, I think it's IPX4 or IPX5 rated, so it is definitely rated to be used in the rain with batteries exposed. I have done it many times, so including today, been using it in the rain, and usually works pretty fantastically. It's one of the things I really love about these, not having to worry about the batteries in the rain. Alright, so got this trimming and edging done. Let me know if you guys have any questions, if you can hear me clear enough. I'm always messing with those settings and trying to figure out stuff. I'm gonna take my glasses off so I can actually see the screen. Looks like 3 people now. Welcome to everybody who's joined in to watch. Oh, it's been a wet day. Just, in the last maybe 2 hours or so has it slowed down and stopped. Ground is dried up. Grass is still soaking wet. You can see the mower is just like, blah. Look at that. It has been a gross day. I've had to clean out the deck on every lawn. You can see how, just because of how wet it's been. Ooh. Just gross. Craig Brokeshaw. He and Julio began listening to podcast in 2015, I think that says. Oh, man, it's hard seeing the screen with my like old man eyes already. And it's like fixed to the neck mount, so I can't really move the phone farther or closer. But yeah, 2015. Wow, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. Really appreciate you listening to the podcast for so long. That is awesome. Hopefully you found it to be of value and not a waste of time or anything like that. I'm mowing today at 2.5 inches. Usually I would mow this lawn at 2.5 in the back, at 2 inches on the front. And I mean that as the wheel settings, not like front yard, backyard. This is only a front yard lawn that I mow. So I would mow it at 2.5 inch setting at the back, wheels 2 inches at the front, which would result in about a 2.25 inch cut. But today I'm doing it at 2.5. So I just have the front raised that just slightly, that one notch up, just because it's just so wet today. This client also prefers the lawn cut taller. One of the very rare clients that does. Usually they always want it shorter. I've got like 2, maybe 3 clients that prefer me to cut it taller than shorter. Everybody else is always like, can you cut it shorter? Can you cut it shorter? So I don't mind going up a little bit on this one because I know they don't mind it. I always cut it at the height I cut it because I think it looks better with that slight bit of rake. But today, because it's wet, I will go up to 2.5. Got the client poking their head outside the door, so I might have to stop and mute the microphone. Oh, she closed the door. So I'm going to wait till the end because this client is one that is a chatter, and this is just a little front lawn. She will talk my ear off at times. Where it's like, my goodness, I'm not making any money. So I'm going to sit here listening to chatting about stuff not related to the lawn. You get those clients from time to time. This is definitely one of those. So we're going to do our best here to make it through the lawn, but this is the normal day that I mow her lawn too. I'm here a day early. We're supposed to get a ton of rain on Wednesday. So I'm trying to avoid working on Wednesday. Normally my mows are always Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So that leaves my Mondays and Fridays to do other things. So this week, even though it was raining this morning, it was a much lighter rain. It had rained heavier overnight. So I thought, well, if I go out today, Tuesday is supposed to be much nicer, but then the heavy rain is coming Wednesday. That's what they're saying, but who knows? I always joke that a meteorologist or a weather lady, is it's like the only job where you can be wrong every day and still have a job the next day. We'll do our best here to get it done. This lawn here is not too bad. I don't have too many that I will like give a heads up to. Say, hey, I'm coming a day early or whatnot. Usually those are ones that just, if it's like an issue with like a dog or something like that, where giving them a heads up to pick up dog waste. If it's not for that, then I don't usually give them a heads up. And we'll sometimes show up a day early if I need to. Ooh. Yeah, see although it's cutting, it's just not quite as clean as I'd like it. I prefer to be a little bit of rake, and you'd think, how much difference is that going to make? It can make all the difference in the world, having a tiny bit of rake in the lawn, in the mower. To cut it. So I will try, as I said, see what I can do if I can make it through this one. But like I said, I already saw the client peeking out the door. So pretty sure she's going to come out. So I will have to put the stream on mute. See if I can finish. And we'll see. Grab some gloves here. Yeah, she's a chatter. So we'll see if I can keep it short. So you can see how wet and heavy that is. Even cutting it there, the 2.5. I'm gonna flip it over now. Ooh. Let's see what we got here. Ooh. Yeah, so this is essentially what I've been doing all day long. When it comes to the small mowers, this is definitely the advantage in wet grass, is that I can clean out that deck, which keeps the bagging performance high each time, obviously, because you're clearing out any clogs and build up, keep that airflow going, and it goes really quickly if you're doing it on a regular basis. And it's just a few seconds of wiping the deck down to get it. Nice thing with these battery mowers too, kind of a bonus, is that you don't have to worry about carburetors and flooding and all that sort of stuff when you flip them on their sides. None of that to worry about. So I'm going to go dump these clippings in the yard waste bin. But overall, that's pretty good. It's not too bad, not too bad. What I should do here, just kind of quickly, is stand back and let me grab a image I can use for a thumbnail. That should work. Screenshot image. I always use like a generic screenshot image in the beginning and then try to change it later to the actual image for that particular lawn. So I'll use, if you haven't seen the pattern already with the live streams, I'll use an image. When it's actually live, I use a generic image that I've taken from a past live stream, but it'll be of whatever mower I used on the particular live stream that I'm doing. So if you see a turf tracer in the thumbnail image when it's live, then it's going to be the turf tracer I'm using. If you see the Crest battery mower, it's that. If you see the Navigator, it's the Navigator that I'm using. It's sort of how I try to do it. Oh man, even the gloves are just soaked all the way. Whew. Oh, you know what? Look at that. Completely forgot to mow that over there. Whew. This is the trouble with live streams. Is I've joked about it being like the whole like pat your head and rub your belly at the same time type thing. It's two things that you're thinking of. Thinking about two things. And I'm not even going to empty or clean that, being the last house. I will take that out at home. I unload the equipment every day anyways. So I will unload that and dump it at home. You can see the leaves already starting to fall. Anybody that follows me on Instagram might recognize this particular lawn. There's the one almost a year ago actually that I did a quick clip on just before the Equip Expo. It was actually the day before the Equip Expo, so it would have been mid-October, where it was raining so heavily it was just like I got caught in the middle of the rainstorm. Only had this lawn to finish, and it was like either wait it out, because sometimes the rain, it's only a few minutes, or go ahead and just mow. And I decided to go ahead and just mow and get it done. It was a good thing I did, because that particular day, the heavy, heavy rain continued for over an hour. It was pretty crazy, so it was a good thing I just put my head down. But you can see me in the video mowing with a battery mower. I think I was using the X-Mark that day, X-Mark Commercial 21 battery, and it was just coming down. like crazy. And I was showing the curb, and the curb was just like a river of water. Pretty darn crazy. Whew. Pick up a little bit of grass there. Gonna see if I can sneak away before the client gets out again. If she comes out, only because she will talk my ear off. Alright, I don't know if you guys can see me or not. Oh, let me just set the phone down for a second so I can get my headphones back on. And okay, the mic picked that up. So, yeah, I don't know what the heck happened there. The whole screen went completely frozen when I got in the car, which is odd. It's never done that before. But anyway, it was what it was. And then I was in traffic and had to find a spot to pull over to see. I wasn't switching from front to back camera or anything like that. So I don't know. I'll have to check back to see if it was actually working or not working. The only thing that was working on the screen was it was showing me people coming and going, like how many people were watching the stream or leaving the stream. But the download or upload numbers were completely red and saying it's not working, and it wouldn't switch. The camera wasn't working. It was all frozen. So at any rate, that last customer there, I'm sure we've all had ones like that where they are very chatty and like to talk a lot, and it's tough because you're trying to get the lawn done. You're trying to get the lawn done, go on to the next one, and it's okay if it's once in a while. I understand, especially with elderly clients and stuff, that they can be lonely sometimes, but that client in particular will just chat about all sorts of stuff, like conspiracy theories and all sorts of things. And sometimes I get a kick out of listening to it, but other times just like, man, like, I'm here for 30 minutes to cut your lawn, and the next thing I know, it's been an hour and a half because she's talked for an hour, right? And it's like you're trying to get away, you're trying to be polite and those sorts of things, and she just keeps chatting, and it's like, man. So yeah, I saw her open the door, and I was kind of peeking as I started mowing there, but then she went back inside as I continued on, and I fully expected her to come back out at the end as soon as she heard the blower stop and stuff, because that's usually what she'll do, but she didn't, and I was able to just jump in the truck and go. So I'm not sure what was up with that, with the live stream kind of just freezing and stuff, but it is what it is. That is the joys of figuring out the live streaming and all of the different aspects of live streaming. Not only is it setting up the phone and getting that going. Sometimes it's the lens, forgetting to clean the camera lenses on the back that you're touching with your, dirty hands from, or being in your pocket all day, and it gets kind of filthy, and you go on live stream and the lens is all dirty and it looks blurry, or it freezing, or you're using, the Bluetooth microphone, and then you get in the truck and it switches to the truck's Bluetooth automatically, and then the microphone, there's just so many things that, I have, or like last week where cell service completely dropped off in one neighborhood.
in the middle of the mow, and it's just like it's not uploading anything. It's not. So it's just one of those things. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. The live streams are live streams. They are what they are. They're live. So, and that's part of what I like about them, is that can just do them and show you guys a part of my day, show you guys some of the clients, some of the conditions that I'm dealing with. Today was a nasty one, just being soaking wet. So as I'm sitting here, I'm like wiggling my toes in my boots, and I can feel that that's squishy and wet my socks are and stuff. So it's kind of nasty. I bet I like my skin will be all wrinkly in my toes today, just from being in the wet grass all day. I'm gonna get home, unload, take off all this rain gear, get it all up to dry. They're saying tomorrow's supposed to be a better day. Originally they were saying it was going to be like a sunny summer type day, but now it looks like it's just going to be overcast but no rain. So we'll see how that goes, how credible they are with their weather forecasting. Hopefully tomorrow is a better day and I'll be able to do another live stream in better conditions. But today, like I said early on in the stream, it's a short one today because it was the last lawn of the day that I was able to do, and it's just a small front yard, just because it was raining all day. And the phone, it is waterproof and stuff, but touch screens do not like wet water. They start to act weird and to trigger other options and opening apps and all that sort of stuff. So I didn't want to deal with that. In fact, like today with my can't see it here, but under my sleeve, my Apple Watch, I've got it on like the swim mode, where it locks the screen, and so that the touch screen isn't active, because it's just been so wet today, and that water will interact with the screen. And I don't want that, because I've had that in the past with the Apple Watch, where it's like pouring rain and stuff, and the next thing you know, it's like texting my family members and things like that, because it thinks I'm touching the screen and stuff, the capacitive screen, but it's just because it's all wet and rainy, and it's just like doing my family members are getting like text messages that are like all gibberish and stuff like that. So it's just one of those things. So with the iPhone, I thought, I'm not going to do that with the live stream. If it's raining, it's going to be too difficult to manage that on top of everything else that you have to manage with live streaming. So at any rate, this one is a bit shorter. I was able to do a truck talk podcast this morning on the way to work, so that'll come out at midnight tonight for this week's episode, if you're interested to listen to that. And put out a video recently last week about the robotic mower. Finally got a video on that. Put out sort of the first look and setup of that unit, and kind of showing sort of initially the how that unit works, and was also able to, this past weekend on Instagram, and also here on YouTube, I posted a little short of lifting a concrete slab that I did at home. I did some YouTube University this past weekend of how to raise a sunken concrete. I had a big concrete slab leading up to my front door at my house. That was a house 14 years ago. Had been previously repaired and lifted, it looked like, but had sunken again, and then just kind of repaired where they put a bunch of filler in the kind of the void between the two slabs, and kind of made like a little ramp in caulking or filler or whatever. So I decided to try lifting it with a contraption that I saw on YouTube, using like a 4x4 post and some anchors and concrete anchors, drilling some holes, putting concrete anchors in with some chain, putting the post under it, and then using a car jack to lift the slab, and it worked perfectly. Then was able to just drill a whole bunch of little tiny holes to be able to put expanding foam underneath the void, to fill the void. I used about 12 cans of foam under there. So there's a clip on one of my YouTube shorts you can look at today that I posted, kind of just showing, and I actually didn't even film. Totally forgot to film. So I remembered that the security camera up in the corner would have seen me lifting, so I just pulled footage off the security camera of me lifting the concrete slab. So that's what that short today was about. But at any rate, that's about it for today in terms of the live stream. Looks like we got still a couple of people just jumped on. I'm about to wrap up the live stream. Just did a short one today. It's been pouring rain, so I didn't want to do any live streams in the rain just because of the capacitive nature of the touch screen on the phone would be acting funny in the rain. So I was able to do the last one and kind of dip out before the customer, who normally talks my ear off, came out. She was opening the door, kind of checking, and then I was able to finish the lawn and get going. Before she was able to come out, and then kind of lost cell signal or whatever on whatever happened there. So at any rate, that's my day for today. Tomorrow, like I said, hopefully it's a little bit better weather. They are saying it will be better. Wednesday is supposed to be an absolute downpour, so I will be I'm doing all these lawns in advance so that I can skip Wednesday. And then maybe I can do a live stream from the house on Wednesday. Maybe do a topic or discussion or something like that. So that's it for this one, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that brief little live stream watching me mow that wet little front lawn. If you guys have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments, and I will make sure that I check in on them and answer those as they come. Been thinking about doing more of the live streams. Been enjoying them because they're unscripted. Of course, they're a bit of a pain, like I said, with this stuff that happens, all of the different little things to watch out for. Is the cameras clean? Is their cell signal where you're at? Is there's just so many different moving parts to a live stream, but have been enjoying sort of doing them. Thinking about doing some more. I like this sort of unscripted nature of them, because it really gives you guys a glimpse in the real life of the lawn care business, of what I'm doing, the types of lawns I'm doing, kind of in the trenches along with me. It's also nice, the brief interactions from those of you that can join in and ask questions or leave comments and stuff. That's always nice. But hopefully tomorrow I can do another live stream. I'm going to wrap it up for today because I am soaking wet. I need to get out of these wet clothes and to get the